What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again, my friends, with another banger for you. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
With the transfer portal booming last year, as well as a lot of new teams joining new conferences this season, we have a lot of newcomers that are definitely making major impacts in the women's college basketball game, and I wanted to highlight a few. Now, I know that there's going to be names on this list that y'all think should be, so definitely for a part two, go ahead and drop in the comments and let me know who you think I missed. This is part one, though, loading. And we got to start none other than with one of the top players in the country, period. From a raw talent ability, there may not be another prospect like her, and that is Juju Watkins, who has joined USC. Of course, we know she's been with USC, but they have joined, I should say, the Big Ten Conference, where Juju Watkins has been absolutely dominant, where she's proven that there literally might not be anybody in that conference that can guard her. On the season, Juju Watkins is averaging 25.5 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, and 3.9 assists, shooting 46.4% from the field. She's scoring even more than that in Big Ten play, and USC has been running through the competition. They are currently 6-0 in conference play, so they're in a three-way tie for first place with Ohio State as well as UCLA, their crosstown rival. But through several games of conference play, man, like, they have blown out Michigan 20 ball. They blew out Nebraska by 20 as well. They beat Rutgers by 50. They beat top 10 ranked Maryland, and then they dominated Penn State. Juju Watkins through those games has been incredible, man. Like I said, the scoring is up. Her efficiency has been better. She's cutting down on the turnovers as of late for the most part. She just looks like she's getting a better feel for the game halfway through her sophomore year. USC, her and Kiki Rapin, who could have definitely been on this list for herself as well, having a spectacular season. They're one of the most dynamic duos in the country. You get Kennedy Smith back. You get Kaylee Heckle playing better basketball at that point guard spot. It's taking pressure off of Juju Watkins, who can continue to operate on ball or off ball, but she doesn't have to be the primary ball handler when they have more creators in this offense. I think she has definitely lived up to the billing. They got more mouths to feed this year, so I understand the scoring is a little bit down, but that's no need to worry. You talk about getting a bucket from anywhere. At her size, at 6'1", oh my goodness. Yo, it is ridiculous what she can do with the basketball, man. Like, shooting over defenders, three-point shot, got it. Off the dribble, no problem. First step, elite burst. 6'1", great finisher. Built for contact. Juju Watkins has been imposing her will on the Big Ten, and I ain't gonna lie, man, I feel bad for that conference. They still gotta play Ohio State. They still gotta play UCLA, which will be two big games to watch. But sheesh, Juju, you one of one. Next up, another player that has joined a new conference, joined the program, though. She joined a new program, and that's Haley Van Lith, transferring from LSU. We know, man, people were kind of down on her after that season at LSU. She was often the fourth, fifth option on that squad, leaving a nice situation for her at Louisville. It did not pan out. She goes, bets on herself, plays a fifth year, lands at TCU, and the rest is history right now, man. She's been having a career year, averaging over 19 a game. She's throwing out dimes, running the point guard position, has had multiple double-doubles for this squad. TCU is achieving program highs, their highest ranking. They look like they're going to be the favorites to go ahead and run away with that Big 12 title. And she went to a situation where she's believed in. The coach believes in her. The team believes in her, and she can be the lead guard and lead playmaker. So I misspoke earlier. Her scoring average went a little bit down. It was at over 19. And now, officially, as of today, it's 18.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 6 assists, which is a career high. She's averaging a career high in assists by far. She's averaging almost double assists than she was. Her and Sedona Prince, who could easily be mentioned as these two is one of the best dynamic duos in college basketball. But Hailey Van Lith, you got to respect it. The perseverance, betting on herself, one of the most heavily criticized players, was dragged through the mud by fans and media for her play at UCLA, from, just not getting shot opportunities, for turning the ball over, to mostly getting cooked by Caitlin Clark and pretty much any other guard that had her on the island. She spoke about the difference, though, playing in the Big 12 and TCU having a target on her back recently.
Yeah, we got a target on our back. We're ranked 10th in the country according to AP. So, you got a target on. Everyone's gonna give you a best shot. Like the best players on the other team, they want to go out and hoop against us. Like, that is their WNBA. Like, that's their proof that they can go play at the next level if they play well against us. So, we know that, and we're gonna match the intensity. I love that. I love when girls think that they can come and score on us like that. It ignites my competitive fire. So, we have to be willing to match teams' intensities, and I think so far we have done that, and that's why we've pulled out all those road wins. Oklahoma State's another one. We got to go play really well. They're a great team, so we're excited for that, and it's an opportunity to prove, why we are who we are. It's unique. It's not like any other conference I've played in, which I have pretty much every conference to pull from. It's unique, you really have to get a feel for who the reffing crew is, how they want to call it. But I like playing in it. I think it's fun. I think it allows for skilled players to thrive. I think that, there's a good balance of physicality and finesse. So I'm enjoying it. I think that the Big 12 is a really talented conference, and I'm excited to keep playing.
Respect to Hailey Van Lith. Respect to Hailey Van Lith, though, betting on herself and continuing to just prove that she is a pro and she will be ready for the next level. Now, switching over to another league guard that's playing in her 5th year as well, Hailey Van Lith left the SEC. Georgia Amore followed her coach to the SEC. And Coach Kenny Brooks has really jump-started this program at Kentucky, man. It's very impressive that they've only lost one game. They're like 16-1 right now. In year one, their only loss is to South Carolina. Like, Kentucky has looked really good scoring the basketball. And Georgia Amore, we knew that she was one of the best point guards in the country, but she is having a career year scoring the basketball as well as distributing the basketball. Just the balance that she has of being able to call her own number or make things easier for her teammates, it's incredible. It's experience, it's talent, it's a feel for the game. But she has definitely lived up to the billing. And, I mean, this is the best potential start that I think they could have possibly hoped for. Like, this is an incredible run that she's got going right now. Just a new conference, no problem. Not really a new system, but new roster, no problem. Averaging 18.1 points, 2.4 assists, and a career high, or 2.4 rebounds, and a career high 7.4 assists. She is dishing that rock, the floor general. She's top 3 in assists right now in the whole entire NCAA, and she continues to just run the show for this offense. She's averaging 3 turnovers, which is 0.4 lower than last season. So she's controlling the basketball better, taking better care of it. She's been moving the basketball at Kentucky, one of the better offenses in the SEC. The way she runs the break, how she can operate and pick and roll, the way she can just snatch your ankles and make you look crazy, the way Georgia Amore just attacks the game on both sides of the basketball, that she was a must-get transfer for Kentucky. Coach Kenny Brooks realized he needed a player, a program pillar to build around, and Georgia Amore has made Lexington her own.
Great so far. I think our first couple of games, it was some people showed up and there was kind of excitement around the program, but I think, we've been doing our job in getting some really good solid wins and starting SEC playoff. We can be picky and point out the little things we did bad, but to have consecutive games of like pretty much nearly 20-point wins is phenomenal for SEC play, considering, someone like Auburn played LSU last week and they only won by 10, so I think we're putting on a show. We're trying to get people to come and support us because to be successful and to play in a home environment, which come February for us is so important that we have a good environment because we have a really, really great stretch. So if we keep building towards that, then a good home crowd can make a great team brilliant.
Major get. Another guard that I think needs to be talked about more in some of these mock drafts. Sticking with the SEC, going with another sophomore, Madison Booker. Texas leaving the Big 12, joining the SEC. Booker was a first-team All-AP, All-American projection in the preseason, and rightfully so. She may have the best and prettiest mid-range game in the country. She is the best player to wear 35, the biggest problem to come through Texas since Sir Kevin Durant.
You should watch Madison Booker and your mind should be blown. You should want to know more about her. And the fact of the matter is, we don't hear Madison Booker's name as much as we hear Paige's name, Juju's name, Flaugier, Hannah, and some of that has to do with those programs that those players are at. Texas hasn't been like a big time talent program where a lot of names have come out of. So that's kind of part of it. But we're at the point now where, Texas is a top 5 team in the country right now, largely because of her. But I just think Madison Booker is a great example of someone who is so unique. We are going to miss the mark if more people, and she's got a long runway. She's only a sophomore. More people are going to know about her and hear about her over the next few years. She is going to be a top draft pick when she gets to the WNBA. Her as a player and a specimen is going to become more of a thing as time goes on. I'm sure of it, but I just couldn't help but think if Madison Booker swung on Hannah in that game, or if she got into it with Neil Ivey on the sideline, or if she started talking trash and doing something automatically more people would start to know about her and hear about her.
She is wearing that 35 and making it proud, man. A walking bucket. Love her. She's a true point forward. Like point forward, can play the 1 through the 3. Dish the block, create offense for herself and others, operate in the pick and roll, play make, mid-range, count it. Get to any spot she needs to. She's slimmed down. Body looks great. Looks really like she's in way better shape, playing more minutes. She just looks more fit for SEC play and to get more versatility out of her game, to get the max out of her game. Because we're talking about a potential top 5 draft pick when she declares. Averaging 15.2 points, 6 rebounds, 2.8 assists, which is down from last year due to the fact that Rory Harmon's back in this group, and 48.1% from the field. She's still built to take contact, 6'1", big wing, great handle, great feel for the game, just tough, extremely tough, durable, versatile. I love that she can just get to her spots, and she's an elite shot maker. She will rise over the defense. She will bully smaller defenders in the post. She will blow by a bigger defender if you throw her at that look. Give her any space. She's pulling from 3. Like, Madison Booker just has a really, really nice game. Well-rounded, polished for her age. And she's definitely been playing really great basketball. Texas, LSU, South Carolina look like these 3 teams. Potentially Oklahoma if, depending on what happens with Reagan Beers. But these 3 teams, it seems like, will decide the SEC. Madison Booker got shut down by Breezy Hall. But I don't imagine her having a game like that when they match up again in Austin a little bit later in the season. She will definitely be in the running for the SEC Player of the Year. And, man, just much, much, much respect to her game. Last but not least, going back to the Big Ten, UCLA, another top program that joined that conference out of the Pac-12. Historical program that, on the men's side more so. But on the women's side, they're looking to make their first Final Four. They're looking to win their first national championship. And they got the dang roster to do it this season, man. Lauren Betts is a big reason why. In that Player of the Year running. And they're undefeated right now. One of the only undefeated teams. They dominated South Carolina, the reigning national champion. Lauren Betts had her way, and she's a big reason why they're undefeated. And their coach talked about that.
It's not only her individual stats, it's how she makes everybody better. How people don't want to go in there because they don't want to have to deal with her. She pretty much mitigates their go-to post player, is not even a factor tonight. That's been very consistent throughout our games so far. And, the way that she's growing in her leadership and her voice and her work ethic. You know, just even today, she had a breakthrough in her pregame ritual and how she prepares. And so I just think there's so many areas, and it all goes back to growth, and it goes back to leadership. You know, but there really isn't much that Lauren can't do. And, you know, I think that people in Southern California need to enjoy this. And our team, everybody else plays better when Lauren's out there.
Year, Betts is averaging at a career high 19.7 points, career high 9.9 rebounds, and a career high 2.5 assists. Another, yes, career high 2.4 blocks. She is having the best season of her career this season. She has been the most impactful player on both sides of the basketball, hands down. Scoring 61.7% of her field goals, 6'7". Most players don't have the size to match up, and if they do, the fact that she slimmed down and is just in the best shape of her life, playing more minutes than last year, just getting up and down the floor a lot better, a lot smoother. You're going to be hard-pressed to find somebody with her size and mobility to guard her in the NCAA, man. We saw South Carolina had no answer for her, just like the rest of the nation. It's not just South Carolina, but I'm just saying that's the best front court they played, and she definitely had her way. They haven't played a super difficult schedule, but they've been beating the hell out of teams, and Lauren Betts has just been a dominant force. She's super skilled. She has developed her range a little bit more to extend to the elbow. She's big, physical, score over the shoulder, got that old school low block, back to the basket game. She's been just continuing to be a better and more effective rebounder. She's blocking shots. The shots she's not blocking, she's just a straight intimidator down there, and players are scared. She is that anchor for UCLA. They have a lot of length and a lot of versatility, but it definitely starts with Lauren Betts. Great hands, great touch around the rim, great footwork, just super patient. When teams try to collapse down on her, she's been finding the shooters better than ever this season for UCLA, who has just upgraded this roster through recruiting and through the transfer portal. It's championship or bust for them. And Lauren Betts, man, looks like a really strong favorite for National Player of the Year. She has just been a dominant force, and I can't stress that enough. Y'all let me know in the comments. This is just part one. I know there's some other players that could have made this list. Let me know in the comments who I missed or who y'all think y'all want to see on part two. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Make sure to subscribe, comment, share, like, all that good stuff. And follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Till next time, we out.